Okay, this is Todd, and like I said, I'm redoing some of my videos because the sound quality was pretty bad. Now this video is about Nha Trang. I went from Ho Chi Minh City to Nha Trang, and Nha Trang is the beach town. So I'm gonna show images of Nha Trang instead of looking at me talking, all right? And it's a beautiful town, filled with Russians. But pretty much every beach in Vietnam or Thailand is filled with Russians. The Russians just took over every damn beach. The Philippines are filled with Koreans, all right? But in Vietnam and Thailand, filled with Russians, and they got money. You know, so anyway. So now I'm on a plane coming to Nha Trang, and there's a beautiful airline stewardess. She's elegant, you know, about 5'6", just a little below my height, and she's just gorgeous. And I'm looking at her, of course I'm looking at her, I'm a guy. I am gonna look at beautiful women, that's what I do. I mean, I'm a single guy. That's what we all do. Everybody people watch. I guess it was staring a little bit too hard, but she was just gorgeous. And the other stewardess kind of told her that I was checking her out. Yeah, I was checking her out. She was gorgeous. Then the plane lands. She's at the front of the plane, I'm at the back of the plane. So there's a lot of passengers in between us. So now it's time to make my move, right? But what happened was to open up the doors in the front and open up the doors in the back. And the passengers ahead of me started going to the back and pushing me out the back of the plane. The other ones in the front started pushing her out the front. And I could see in her face that she got frustrated. I was frustrated because I couldn't get to her and she couldn't get to me. So I just gave up. But later on, I saw her walking through the airport, and I thought about running up to her. And she was in a distance. But I decided to leave it alone. So now I'm in Nha Trang, right? At my Airbnb, you know, come out, I go to the beach, everything is cool. I'm on my way to the beach, there's one little waitress, and she's cute, and she glanced over my way, I glanced at her too, and she's cute. So now I'm at the beach, everything is cool. I'm in the water, out the water. The Russian girls are there, single. They don't really pay me any attention until I come out the water. All right? Now, Trang is a tourist town, but most of the tourists are family. It's more family orientated. So a lot of the Russian guys were there with their wives and children. Even with the Korean men and the Japanese men are there with their families too. So there's not a lot of single men who are tourists in Nha Trang. In fact, I didn't see a lot of men in Nha Trang at all, even Vietnamese men. Anyway, what the Russian women do is, I think they're used to their men being a lot more aggressive and assertive. So, when they figure out there might be a cultural difference, while you're walking, they'll figure out where you're going to be walking at, down the street or sidewalk, and they will make sure that they're in front of you so that you have to walk past them, or you're going to walk past them, and that's when you're supposed to make your move. Well, I guess with Russian guys, they would go up and run up and, you know, just like Americans and just start, you know, talking crap and picking them up. But with the Russian girls, they were actually, which is the same thing kind of like what the Vietnamese girls do. They would put themselves in front of you, and when you walk, to make sure you are walking, you're going to walk past them. Now, another time I was at the mall, at the pizza place, ordered my pizza, got everything going, right? Another waitress who was very cute, very attractive, came out, did the same thing, stand in front of me, didn't know what she wanted, I paid for my shit, everything was cool, and I left. That's the other thing about Asia. If you get married, you have to send your ass home because there's just too much opportunity with these women all over the place. I mean everywhere. Well, correct, not opportunity, temptation. That's the correct word, too much temptation. So you have to stay your ass at home with your wife because there's just too much of it. And all the countries, whether Thailand, Philippines, or Vietnam. So I didn't really realize what that meant, right? Plus, the pollution, man, was just getting to me. I mean, I can't handle the pollution in Asia. Vietnam has some bad pollution, but the place that got the worst pollution, the Philippines. I may explain later, right? So I'm there in Nha Trang, and it's a holiday weekend. It's the, well, I think they celebrate it for the whole month. Vietnam Independence Day. And during that one evening, all of these unbelievably gorgeous Vietnamese women come out. I mean, everyone. You got the one who could be supermodels, elegant, the one who are mothers, ones who are the girls next door, you know. They're all over the place. Tall, short, and hot. I mean, these girls are the type of girls in America who would not give us the time of day. Back in the 80s, they were, you know, chasing after the white guys, but they left us black guys alone. But here, they're everywhere, and they're a dime a dozen, and a lot of them look a whole lot better than the ones we have in the United States. And they're everywhere, man. And a couple of them are checking me out. I'm checking them out, but I don't make a move. Because I'm just looking for some food at the time. I was hungry, I was starving. Basically, dude, Vietnam is the place you want to get married to a beautiful Vietnamese girl, right? Now, the other waitress I told you about, as we're walking out to the beach, I went back to that place and got my lobster, and she was just telling me to come over here. She's interested, and I made a mistake. Well, I didn't make a move, and then the next day she was not that interested. She was kind of pissed off. But then she realized that after 2 more days, I got on my plane and left, and that was she realized that the reason why I didn't make a move. Then another restaurant, while I was originally going to get the lobster, there's a waitress. She was just gorgeous, just as beautiful as the one at the airline stewardess. And she did the same thing. Stood right in front of me. Didn't say a word. A little grin on her face with a little smile. Like I said, so many missed opportunities. Then when I'm at the airport, getting on my plane, I get something to eat at one of the little kiosks or stands. And there's 3 of hostesses there, or waitresses there. And 2 of the waitresses tells me that the other waitress, the 3rd one, likes me. I smiled and said, great, that's nice. But I'm about to get on my plane in about an hour, and I'm not coming back. And she was kind of cute, you know. Not as fine as the one that were at the pizza place in the mall, or at the lobster restaurant, or the airline stewardess, or all the women I saw out there that one night for Independence Day. But she wasn't bad either. If I met her first before I saw all these other women, yeah, I might have gone for it. But one of the biggest problems with Vietnam is there's so many beautiful women all over the place, and they're just hot and gorgeous. And you can meet them on Tinder, left and right. And like I said, that even if you don't know the language, they don't know English, they really don't care, because since they marry so many Korean men, they have this culture or this attitude that until you learn their language, or until they learn yours, or you learn theirs, they will work with you until you do, and they will marry you even if you cannot speak Vietnamese and they cannot speak English. And that's what I try to tell you about Hanoi. But that's the impression I got from that one waitress at the lobster restaurant, and the girl who picked up my laundry, picked up and dropped off my laundry, the girl who worked at the rooftop bar in Hanoi, and definitely the Korean girls, but I'm not sure the Korean girls who I was looking at speak English now because I didn't talk to them. But Vietnam, those women are very patient, receptive, considerate, understanding, which is what a wife is, and supportive. And like the women from Vietnam who commented on my video, they only date to get married. Have a family, children, and all the rest. That's what they date for. All right? Okay, that's it about not trained.